Dr. Sherwood, and with me is Aaron from Brunswick Veterinary Hospital. We're going to talk to you today about how heart disease is diagnosed in dogs. So Aaron will ask me a few questions and we'll get the answers and go from there.
Dr. Sherwood, what is the first sign of a heart issue in a dog?
The first sign, it varies. So in one case, it can be, we used to run 3 miles a day. Now we can barely make it down the block. It can also be that there's a cough that's persistent for several months, doesn't seem to be going away, but the dog otherwise doesn't seem to have an infection, doesn't seem to be ill in any other way.
How are heart murmurs diagnosed in dogs?
So a murmur is just a sound. It's something that we hear when we're listening to the chest. So typically we'll find a murmur, one, if we come in for exercise intolerance or a cough and we listen to the heart and we hear that extra sound between the beats. Or if we are there for our normal physical exam and we happen to pick something up. So it's just a sound. You'll hear it described in grades from grade 1 to 6. It's generally speaking just a volume. So 1 being the quietest, 6 being the loudest.
What does an echocardiogram show that an x-ray does not?
So x-rays are great in dogs for aiding in diagnosis. They give us an idea of the general shape and size of the heart. An echocardiogram is actually going to allow us to peer in and see how the valves are doing, how the chambers are structured, see if there's any changes on that front that we might not pick up on x-ray. So it's a really valuable tool for diagnosis.
What is the prognosis for dogs with heart issues?
So the prognosis varies depending on how early we find it. So prognosis, if we're having a dog that's collapsing, that's struggling to breathe, actually tends to be pretty poor. Though with medication we can give them some good quality time. If we happen to notice just a murmur, we're not noticing anything else going on, maybe some slight exercise intolerance, we can oftentimes have them on medication and well medicated for years.
What is a board-certified cardiologist?
So board-certified cardiologist is a specialist who's focused their entire career toward cardiac health. So they're going to be your gold standard, best practices person to go to for cardiac disease and management, though a lot of these diseases can be diagnosed on the general practice side of things.
Do I need a cardiologist to diagnose heart issues with my dog?
No, you don't. That being said, is always an option and it's always a good idea. A general practitioner can diagnose a number of cardiac diseases, and those that we can't, we are happy to refer.
That's all the questions for this session.
Thank you very much. If you have any other questions, if anything else comes to mind, please feel free to reach out to us. We're happy to help.